to the school. But with that being said, Shabbat Shalom, we got a good lesson today. All praise to the Most High. The lesson is called Career Criminal. That's the name. That's the name of the lesson today. Career Criminal. Do me a favor, brother. Put the definition of criminal on the board. I mean, on the screen. I'm sorry. Let me get it with you too. Let's put criminal definition under your Google search. All right, what you got when you when they pop up? I don't want the noun. I want the adjective. What color is his mic? Let's get him that mic right there. Get him that one right there. Hopefully that one will work for him.
Check.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead.
Criminal. Adjective. Relating to crime.
It says relating to crime. Now, give me some of those similarities there.
Unlawful.
That's unlawful. Go ahead.
Illegal.
Illegal.
Against the law.
Against the law. Well, we gonna hone in on today. We talking about the laws of God. So if you break the laws of God, you are a criminal. You have committed a crime. It says unlawful, illegal, against the law.
Illicit.
It says illicit. Now get the definition of career criminal. Definition. Going in on the violation of the law of God, you have committed a crime.
Nathan, once you get that definition, zoom in for them.
Yeah, zoom in so the people can see the water cane. That boy spelled carrier criminal. The Indiana school system had they had failed us.
I'm trying to go back.
You should have went to Memphis City Schools, brother. Career criminal. All right, read that definition, brother.
Career criminal.
Uh-huh.
Habitual offender.
Whoa, say that again.
Habitual offender.
Habitual offender. We got a lot of that go on in the truth. And Israelites across the planet. Habitual offenders. Not afraid to add sin unto sin. We're going to get to that. Keep going.
A habitual offender. Repeat offender.
A repeat offender. You keep doing the same thing over and over. You are a career criminal when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments of God. It says a habitual offender, repeat offender, go ahead.
Career criminal.
Or a career criminal, go ahead.
Is a person convicted of a crime who was previously convicted of crime.
So this is a person, we gonna merge this in with the laws of God. A person that has been convicted of breaking the Most High's law, and then they were previously convicted of it. They keep doing it. Is it more on that? Keep going.
Various state of jurisdictions.
Says various state and jurisdictions. Go ahead.
They have laws.
They may have laws targeting
habitual offenders.
Habitual offenders. Guess what? The Most High is gonna punish a habitual offender. Drop that. Let's open up with some precepts here. Let me get Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. And then we're going to pull a video. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Rise not up in anger.
Oh, whoa. What you reading?
Ecclesiastes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. 8 and 11.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
See, it says because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Look at it in today's world, in modern society. If somebody gets convicted of a crime and they found guilty, what happens? A sentencing. But right here it says because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Go ahead.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set at them to do evil.
That's why you got repeat offenders when it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Because you got people out here, they dealing wickedly, but they ain't received no judgment from the Most High. They ain't received no judgment from the Most High, so they gonna keep on doing what they doing. With that being said, get that video, King. Let's get the mind state of a career criminal. It's right there in the media chat. Should be right there at the top as soon as you open it up. Right at the bottom, yep. I read that too.
CRM, it stands for Customer Relationship Management.
Now, this is
and it could
interview
revolutionize the way you run your
1950s.
business. So how do you pick the
They
right
were interviewing a
one?
man.
Running a
Hold
small
on.
business comes with a lot of
I understand you're not from a large
Pause there
city
real quick.
area. Are you
Here's
from
where
a
you try to do
farm?
something real quick.
No, someone had popped them, told me to take it off.
Okay, hold on. I think you're trying to put it on that screen too. But this is a video interview from the 1950s from a man that was a career criminal. We want to get a piece of his mind here.
I'm 4 seconds in.
I understand you're not from a large
I start
city
from the
area.
beginning.
Are you from a
Go back. Go ahead.
I understand you're not from a large city area. Are you from a farm or a small town?
Small town.
What part of a small town? The so-called good side of the tracks or the other side?
The other
When you
side.
say the other side exactly, what do you mean? What was wrong?
Where all the guys get where all the guys get in trouble.
The police were down there. The police were down there all the time.
That's
you were
right.
raised in that particular area. Is that right?
That's right.
How
Listen to some of the stuff
How
that he
old
said.
were you when you got into what I might ask to be your first major difficulty with the law?
Well, I was 17. I stole a car.
Why a car? Why then? And why then?
Well, I got in a family argument one night, and I just didn't want to get out of town. I was mad at everybody. So I went uptown. And I stole a car. Started to leave.
What was wrong at home?
That's none of your business. That's none of your business.
You stole the car. You went uptown. How long before you were caught?
Well, the same night.
Stop right there.
By the county police.
State police.
So he went out and he stole a car. The interviewer asked him, he said, man, when did you get caught? How long did it take you to get caught? He said the same night. Go ahead and play the video.
State police.
Right. Well, I went to court.
What
and
next?
the judge gave me probation. I beat the rap.
When you say you beat the rap, what do you mean?
Stop.
You didn't consider probation too heavy?
He said, I went to court, the judge gave me probation, and I beat the rap. See, that's a lot of stuff that's going on in Israel right now. They will get convicted, get a small little light sentence, a small little light judgment, and they're going to go do some more stuff. Look at what he say. Keep going.
You didn't consider probation too heavy?
No.
He said
I thought I got
probation
off
ain't
pretty
heavy. They ain't
light.
nothing.
I mean,
Did you make probation all right, or did you get in some more difficulty?
No, I got in a little trouble.
What sort
A
of
couple
trouble?
of weeks after probation.
What sort of trouble did you get in?
Well, I burglarized a place and got sent away to reformatory
For how long?
for 1 to 3 years.
So you violated your probation. Well, what did it mean to you to violate your probation? That would be pretty rough on the average person.
It didn't bother me.
Well, why
It just
didn't it?
happened.
Why didn't it bother you? It would bother the average person.
Well, I'm not the average person.
Did reformatory do anything for you?
I met a few guys and knew a little more about the kind of life I wanted to lead. And I learned a
Stop
little
right
more
there.
about what I want.
Give me some Rock 13. So he said he met a few guys. See, this is the importance of you always being around people that keep the commandments. Because if you're going to be around people that's not going to keep the commandments, you're going to be just like them. Sirach 13. Read verse 15.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Every beast loveth his life,
It says, every beast loveth his like. Go ahead.
and every man loveth his neighbor.
And every man loveth his neighbor. Go ahead.
All flesh consorteth according to kind,
All flesh consorted according to kind. Go ahead.
and a man will cleave to his like.
And a man is going to cleave to his like. He going to say that a little more when we go back to this video. So if you the type of person that's a habitual offender according to these laws, statutes, commandments, guess who you going to hang with? You going to hang with people that don't keep this law. But if you the type of person that you want to be a Hebrew and you want to live like a Hebrew, man, conversations with people outside of what we do is going to vex you. Go back to the video. Just going to get a little bit more, and then we're going to finish up in the lesson. Go ahead. Keep going. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
On the lead and wanted to do when I got out.
In other words, you were get an education in there, not the type of education that I would consider a good one. Is that right?
That's right.
When you got out, where did you go? Did you go out on parole, or did you serve all your time?
No, I went out on parole. And I got out on parole and
Another slap
went
on
to
the wrist.
Oklahoma.
Go ahead.
And I met a couple of guys in Oklahoma and
I met a couple of
a
guys
bar one night.
in Oklahoma and
And
a bar one night.
well, they were the same kind of guys as me, so I
Well, they were the same kind of guys.
started
as me,
talking
so
to them.
That's what we
got
just
pretty
read
friendly
in Sirach 13. They were the same
And we
kind
went
of guys like him.
out this
Go
certain
ahead.
night and
And we went
robbed about 9
out this certain
motels.
night and robbed about 9 motels.
You were using a gun,
Right,
and you met some fellas in a bar.
Right.
that's right.
You said they were something like you. What do you mean by that?
Well, they kind of thought the same way I did, and they wanted the same
way
things
I
I did.
did. And
They wanted the
This is
same
what he
thing.
wanted to
the
say.
same things I did.
But when you say that they thought the same way you did, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Well, they wanted money easy. They didn't want to work for
Well,
it.
they
There's a lot of
wanted money
suckers in
easy.
the world,
They didn't want to work for it.
and we didn't figure we were the suckers, so we just
Stop that. Did y'all hear what he said?
did it the easy way.
He said there are a lot of suckers in the world. Guess what? When you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to look like a sucker. You're going to look like a square to people that's outside of what we do. Go ahead.
And that is one of the main reasons that we are. That's one of the main reasons why we feel hesitant in keeping the commandments, because it's going to make us look a certain way in the midst of people. And Paul was dealing with that thing. Paul said he's willing to look like a fool. He said he think the Most High saved the apostles for last, to be put on the spectacle, to be laughed at, fingers pointed at them. You know, squares was not. Go ahead.
Get 1 Peter 4 on there. That's it on the video. That's all we're going to get on there. 1 Peter 4 and 4. All praise to the Most High. Check this song out. Check this song out, 1 Peter 4 and 11. Huh? Hold up, you get what you got? I just got 4 and 4. Did you hear that? Actually started verse 1. Yeah, I ain't going there. 1 Peter 4, read verse 1.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 1.
See, because they going to look at you funny when you keep these commands. I promise you. The only reason why a wicked man is going to hang around you is because you wicked just like him. The Most High is my witness. When I first got in this truth, I had a partner, I couldn't shake him. No matter how hard I tried. I could not shake this dude. But as soon as I started keeping the commandments, he was gone just like that. Because I didn't participate in what he participated in. I didn't want to be an habitual offender no more. I didn't want to be a career criminal and doing unlawful deeds. Go ahead.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
It says, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. Go ahead.
For he that hath suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin.
So if you suffered in the flesh, guess what? You ceased from sin. Because guess what? You're going to suffer in this flesh because you're going to deny yourself. Go ahead.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh of the lust of men.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men. Go ahead.
But to the will of God.
But to the will of God. We read that for context, but we get to the point in verse 3. Go ahead.
For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
See, in time past, we wrought the will of the Gentiles. Go ahead.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
When we walked in lasciviousness, that's a crime against God. That's a felony. See, because all sin ain't the same. Some sin is misdemeanors. Some sins is felonies. Them felonies gonna get you killed. Them misdemeanors, the Most High, he gonna slap you on your ass a little bit. So it says when we walked in lasciviousness, felony. Go ahead.
Lust.
Felony. Go ahead.
Excessive wine.
Felony. Go ahead.
Revelings.
That's a misdemeanor.
Banquetings.
Misdemeanor.
Abominable adulteries.
Felony. When you walked in these things, that's the will of the Gentiles. Go ahead.
Wherein they think it is strange that you run not with them to the same excess of
They
riot.
think it's strange that ye run not with them in the same excess of riot. Go ahead.
Speaking evil of you.
They're going to speak evil of you because now you being a law-abiding citizen in the nation of Israel. You a citizen of Israel. Are you going to be a law-abiding citizen or you going to be a career criminal? It says they think it's strange that you don't run with them with the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Drop that, give me 2 Timothy chapter 3. I gotta find it myself. 2 Timothy chapter 3. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, 2 Timothy chapter 3, start at verse 1.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1.
This
know also that all the last days perilous times shall come.
It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Go ahead.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Men shall be lovers of their own selves. These are crimes against God right here. Go ahead. Covetous. That's a crime. Boasting. That's a crime.
Proud.
That's a crime. Go ahead. Blasphemers. Go ahead. Disobedient. To parents. Go ahead. Unthankful. Unholy. These are different felonies and misdemeanors according to the Most High God's law. According to his word. Go ahead.
Without natural
affection. Go ahead.
Truce
breakers.
False accusers.
Incontinent. Fierce.
Despisers of those that are good.
We just read that in 1 Peter 4. How people going to look at you and speak evil of you because you're trying to keep the commandments. They're going to say what you doing is evil and what they doing is good. Go ahead. Incontinent means no self-control. Go ahead. Traitors. You going to trade on your brother. You going to trade on your sister. That's a crime against God. Go ahead. Heady. That's another word for pride. Go ahead.
High-minded.
Another word for pride.
Lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God.
Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. They are habitual offenders. Career criminals. Go ahead.
Having a form of godliness.
It says having a form of godliness. So this talking about those that will even be in the truth. They had a form of godliness. The sisters gonna have the dresses on, modest apparel, head wraps. Brothers gonna have fringes on, beard. All of that. They gonna have the form of godliness. Go ahead.
But denying the power thereof.
Look at Esau. Biggest thief in the world. But he gonna look like he clean and pure. He gonna have the 3-piece suit on. He gonna look like the most honorable man that you've never seen. But he done robbed so many people without a gun. He robbed them with the pen. So that's the same thing with brothers in the truth. You're going to look, brothers and sisters alike. You're going to look the part, having the form of godliness, but you committing crimes out the back door against God. Go ahead.
From such turn away.
It says from such turn away. You can't be around somebody doing that. Keep going.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
And that tell you some of their characteristics right there. He says, for of this sort are they which creep into houses. Go ahead.
And lead captive silly women.
And lead captive silly women. Go ahead.
Laden with sin.
Laden with sin. This is what they do. A habitual offender is somebody that's always around the women, trying to grab one and take one captive. Go ahead.
Led away with diverse lusts.
Led away with diverse lusts. Keep going.
Ever learning?
Ever learning. They getting so much knowledge. Some of these brothers will come, and sisters alike, will come to Sabbath class every single week. It's like you going to college and you studying criminal justice, and then you go right back out there and you do the complete opposite of what you learning. When you open up this book, this criminal justice right here, this the real criminal justice. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, that's absolutely true. You bring out some jewels, because Esau even know that. Esau named his judicial system after the what's called the Judaic law. Our law.
Right. Like even the law of inheritance. The law of inheritance in the land, they strictly get it from the Bible. Where they start talking about, of course, how your possession, it'll go to your next of kin. They get that. They got that right here. The Bible talk about next of kin.
And even
probably
swear.
not verbatim, but it still talks about the next of kin.
Come on. And even swear on the Bible. Put your right hand on the Bible. Did he swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, God, much you believe you got? This on our book. Mm-hmm. So what the king is bringing out, he's bringing out some knowledge. All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. It says, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Jump down verse 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse.
It says, evil men and seducers shall wax what?
Worse and worse.
Worse and worse. Go ahead.
Deceiving and being deceived.
Deceiving and being deceived. Why? Because what we read at the beginning, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. That's the reason why they're going to keep getting worse and keep getting worse. Consider it a blessing if you do something and the Most High pop you on your behind. That means he love you. If you doing something and the Most High has not judged you for what you did, according to the Bible, you a bastard. They think I'm lying. Let's pull it. Which, it's Hebrews 5. Is that what I want? It's been a minute since I laid eyes on it. Is that the one I want? 5 and 12? 12 and 5, that's what it was. Flip it. 12 and 5. Read that when you get there, King.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto us.
It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you. Go ahead, take your time, brother.
As unto children.
As unto children. Go ahead.
My son.
My son.
Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord. If you do something wrong and he chastises you, be thankful for that. Be thankful for that. Go ahead.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Don't faint when he rebuke you for what you did. Go ahead.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
He what?
He chasteneth.
If he love you, he gonna chastise you. Go ahead.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Go ahead.
If ye endure chastening.
If ye endure chastening.
God dealeth with you as with sons.
He dealing with you like a son. Anybody here got children? When you whoop they behind, did you stay mad forever? Nah, you dealing with them like a son. Go ahead.
For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
What son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So if you do something and he ain't whoop you, now you might need to be scared about that. Go ahead.
But if ye be without chastisement,
But if ye be without chastisement, go ahead.
whereof all are partakers,
Whereof all are partakers, go ahead.
then are ye bastards,
Then are ye bastards, go ahead.
and not sons.
And not sons. So be thankful for that. Be thankful when the Most High whoop your behind for something that you did. Give me John chapter 5. Because a lot of us, we in prison because of our iniquity. We in spiritual prison. We might be sick. We might be going through something in our life. That's a bondage. You committing crimes that got you in this bondage. But guess what? Christ is coming here to get you out of that, to free you from that. John chapter 5. This is why we go through these precepts every week. John 5, read verse 12.
The book of John chapter 5 verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk?
Because Christ healed the man that couldn't walk. He said, look, take up your bed and walk. I'm freeing you. You in prison. I'm freeing you of this illness. I'm freeing you of this sickness. Go ahead.
And he that was healed was not who it was.
So he that was healed, he didn't know who Christ was. Go ahead.
For Jesus had conveyed himself away.
Uh-huh.
A multitude being in that place.
He dipped off because there was too many people there. Go ahead, verse 14.
Afterward, Jesus finding him in the temple.
He found him in the temple. Go ahead.
Said unto him,
What'd he say?
Behold, thou art made whole.
Behold, thou art made whole. I done freed you from this illness that you got. Go ahead.
Sin no more.
Said sin no more.
Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
Lest you get judged, lest you get a sentence, lest a worse thing come on you. After I done already healed you of it. Give me Hebrews chapter 10. Read verse 26 when you get there.
The book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 26.
Uh-huh.
For if we sin willfully.
It says, for if we sin willfully, go ahead.
After that we have received the knowledge of the truth.
After we have received the knowledge of the truth shall make you what?
Free.
Free. Guess what? A criminal get imprisoned. So if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, guess what? Then you free. But if you don't, you a criminal and you getting in prison with judgments and punishments. He said, for if we sin willfully, that after we have received the knowledge of the truth, which make a man free according to John 8:32. Go ahead.
There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
There remaineth no more sacrifice for your sin. Keep going.
But a certain fearful looking for of judgment.
A certain fearful looking for what?
For of judgment.
You go to court for a crime and you get found guilty, what's going to happen to you in that courtroom? You got to get a judgment. It says a fearful looking for of judgment. Go ahead.
And fiery indignation.
And fiery indignation. Go ahead.
Which shall devour the adversaries.
Which shall devour the adversaries. Keep going.
He that despised Moses' law.
He that despised what?
He that despised Moses' law.
What's a crime? When you break God's laws. Moses' law. If you despise his law, go ahead.
Died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses.
They died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. But keep going.
Of how much sore punishment.
Of how much sore punishment, go ahead.
Suppose ye. Shall he be thought worthy.
Shall he be thought worthy? Keep going.
Who have trodden underfoot the Son of God.
Who have trodden underfoot the Son of God. Keep going.
And have counted the blood of the covenant.
And have counted the blood of the covenant. Now this is a habitual offender right here. He done trodden underfoot the Son of God and counted the blood of the covenant what?
Whether he was sanctified.
Wherewith he was sanctified, go ahead.
An unholy thing.
You done looked at it like, oh, there ain't nothing. It ain't holy. It's an unholy thing. Go ahead.
And have done despite unto the Spirit of grace.
And have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. They go right back to the first precept we read. It's going to keep going right back there because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. You got brothers and sisters out here that's going to do despite unto the Spirit of grace because the Most High ain't knocked your block off yet. You a repeat offender. You a career criminal. done despite unto the Spirit of grace. Give me Ephesians 4. Read verse 30.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 30.
Uh-huh.
And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God.
It says, grieve not the Holy Spirit of God. When you do despite of the grace, you grieving the Holy Spirit of God. Go ahead.
Whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption.
You sealed by the Spirit of God unto the day of redemption, and you gonna keep on breaking His law? You can't put the fornication down. You can't stop lying. You doing despite unto the Spirit of grace, and you grieving the Holy Spirit. Give me 2 Peter 2. Second Peter 2, read verse 9.
Book of 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations.
See, if you a godly person and you a law-abiding citizen of our nation of Israel, He know how to deliver you out of temptation. Go ahead.
And to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
That's your man right there that ain't got no punishments from the Most High. That's that bastard we just read about in Hebrews 12. It says, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, meaning I ain't even finna do nothing to him. I'm going to let him stay right there what he is and keep on offending and breaking these laws. Man, we know some people in our life or previously in our life that committed crime on top of crime on top of crime and then never go to jail. All your drug dealers. Man, we knew murderers that had killed people that did not go to jail. Cold case. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation. That's your law-abiding citizen in Israel. It says, and to reserve the unjust, the ones that's going to break the law in the Most High sight unto the day of judgment to be punished. Keep going, verse 10.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh.
It says, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh. Go ahead.
And the lust of uncleanness.
And the lust of uncleanness. Go ahead.
And despise government.
And despise government. Guess what? A government gives law and order. Guess what? This the Most High's government right here.
Okay, I got two precepts on that.
Go ahead.
Despise and government. Give me Romans 13. Everybody familiar with that? We should be familiar with that. It said, despise government. Should we despise government? This is the reason why right here. Start at verse 1.
The book of Romans chapter 13 verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
What it say again?
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
It said, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. So everybody got to submit to the higher powers. Keep going.
For there is no power but of God.
He said, for there is no power but of God. Keep going.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
He said, the powers that be are ordained of God. Keep going.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
So if you resist or despise the government, you despise the Most High. Because the Most High, He set these powers up. And it just prove even more. We're gonna drop this right here. They prove even more. He even told our forefathers when they go into Babylon, get what He told them. He said, serve and live. Give me Jeremiah 27. So we cannot despise the government. If they tell it, like if they laws line up with the Most High, we should keep it. Start at verse 12.
12?
Yeah. No, Jeremiah 27, verse 12.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 27, verse 12. I spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon.
Keep going.
And serve him and his people and live.
He said, and serve him and his people and live. So he said, serve. So we got to serve this place right here and live. So we don't serve this place, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be locked up or be put to death. Keep going.
Why would ye die?
He said, why will you die? In this land right here. If you ain't going to keep these laws in this land, right? Why you going to die? Why? Keep going.
Thou art thy people by the sword, by the famine.
What it say again?
Thou art and thy people by the sword and by the famine,
Keep going.
and by the pestilence, as the Lord hath spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon.
He said the Lord has spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon. That's a question. Keep going.
Therefore, hearken not unto the word of the prophet that speak unto you.
So what,
saying,
what the Most High say? He said, therefore, hearken not unto the words of the prophet that speak unto you, saying what?
Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon.
So don't listen to that prophet. If he tell you not to keep the commandment, these laws in this land, if it's not going against the Most High, don't listen to him. If he tell you not to keep the land, if he tell you it's okay to steal, rob your brother, or kill, now don't listen to him. So if he tell you not to keep the laws in this land, man, don't listen to him, cause that's what we over here to serve. We servants. Keep going.
For they prophesy a lie unto you.
What they prophesy?
They prophesy a lie unto you.
He said, why he send us over here, y'all?
To punish us.
Huh? For punishment, to serve. So we over here to serve and live. Like, so if it's not going against the commandments of God, man, do it. Keep going.
For I have not sent them, said the Lord, yet they prophesy
So
a lie.
if brother tell you to break these laws in this land, the Most High didn't send him. Don't even take a ear to him. Finish it up.
Well, they have not sent them, said the Lord, yet they prophesy a lie in my name,
Keep
that
going.
that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you.
So don't despise government. Don't despise it.
That's heavy, right? I ain't even see that. It says, for I have not sent them, saith the Lord, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out. That's their whole purpose. If a brother or a sister is telling you anything outside these commandments of God, their whole purpose is to drive you out. Because that's what the Most High gonna do. Going back. Let's see where we was at. Matter of fact, it's a little bit more on that Romans 13. Go back to Romans 13. Yeah, go to Romans 13.
Romans 13.
Read verse 2 now.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power,
It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, go ahead.
resisteth the ordinance of God.
They resist who?
The ordinance of God.
That's who you really resisting if you resist the power that's set up by the Most High God. You resisting God. Go ahead.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
That's a judgment right there. If you resist it, you receive to yourself damnation. Go ahead, verse 3.
For rules are not a terror to good works.
What's good?
The law. Where's John?
What precept? No, that's what I'm looking for. Close. The other chapter. It's the verse. Romans 7 and 12. Romans 7 and 12 says the law is good. So it says, for rulers are not a terror to good works. And we know the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is good. You do that, you're not going to find yourself in no issues with no ruler whatsoever. You're not going to find yourself in that. They're not a terror to good works. Go ahead.
But to the evil.
But to the evil works, that's what they a terror to. Go ahead.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Go ahead.
Do that which is good,
Do that which is good,
and thou shalt have praise of the same.
and you're going to have praise of that same power if you just do what's good. That same power that the Most High set up. Go ahead.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good.
He a who?
He is the minister of God.
A lot of folks don't know that. A lot of folks don't see that. That's why you got to teach that. It says, this man or men that the Most High set up to have rulership, the Bible just said, not me. The Bible just said, for he is the minister
of God.
Of God.
To thee for good.
To thee for good. Go ahead.
But if thou do not that which is
Hold
evil.
on, take your time, read that right. Every word got to be spoken
but
correctly.
if thou do that which is evil.
But if thou do that which is evil, go ahead.
Be afraid.
Be afraid. Your conscience is going to be clear if you keep these commandments. But if you do something that's evil, be afraid of that power that's been set up. How they had that old song back in the day on Cops. Bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? When they come, be afraid. It say, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. Watch what else he's trying to say. Keep going.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
Man, he don't bear the sword in vain. We know what Esau's blessing is. The fatness of the earth, and he gonna get it with the sword. The Bible say he don't bear that sword in vain. He gonna use that sword. Keep going.
For he is the minister of God.
Read it again. He is what?
For he is the minister of God.
He is the minister of God. God set him up to do that for a time. Go ahead.
A revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
A revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Because we know the Bible say the Most High kill and make alive. So when we see brothers get gunned down by police in different cities and all these different things, just know the Most High said, see now that I, am he. I'm butchering it. And there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. Guess what? He used his minister to do it. Isaiah 45:7, we create good and evil. Deuteronomy 32:39, he the one who said, I kill, I make alive. So he going to use this sword to take you out if you doing what's evil. Understand it. You got to be a law-abiding citizen in Israel. You got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, bro.
It's just like I've been to court before. Traffic tickets, little, bull crap when I was younger. I remember the judge told me my last name was Tabron. Mr. Tabron, so how you doing? I'm doing fine, Judge. So I see you got this little thing going on here. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to give you a little leniency this time. He said, I want to see you back in my court. Yep, hit it. I pay my little fine, I'm at the door. I find myself in it again. I go back for the same judge. He see the paper. He looked with his glasses on. I said, Mr. Tabor, you back in my courtroom again? I know we done been there. You back in my courtroom? Yes, sir. Now, did I tell you next time you come to my courtroom, I got something for you? He give me lenience again, but my fine a little bit bigger. Find myself in it again. He's like the Most High sent me for the same judge again. Mr. Tabor, Mr. Tabor, I'm gonna make a believe out of you. And the brother or sister who behind you, they're gonna be seeing me up next. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make right. I'm gonna make right. Okay. 1129. Hey, you remember that? 201 Barber, 1129. 1129 because I was a repeat offender. So what King bringing out is we must not only be obedient to the laws of the land, but especially to the laws of Israel. Because we don't want to be that repeat offender in the eyes of the Most High.
Right, if you're a repeat offender breaking the Most High's laws, we know he long suffering. He gonna keep on, he gonna give you a hand. He like, look, I'm gonna help you out here, I'm gonna help you out here, I'm gonna help you out here. Long suffering. But it's gonna get to a point where he gonna be like, now I gotta make you feel where I'm coming from. You got to feel this now because you not getting it. Going back to 2 Peter. We left off at verse 10? Hold up. 2 Peter 2. Where we at? It was 10. Go ahead. Read that 10 again.
The book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh.
Go ahead.
And the lust of uncleanness.
Go ahead.
And despise government.
Despise law and order. Go ahead.
Presumptuous are they.
It says presumptuous are they. That's what they are. What's presumptuous, Ezra? I need Ezra on them. Yeah, grab that mic, King.
Presumption like self-will.
Self-will.
Yep.
They self-will. They not going to listen to nobody. None of that. It says presumptuous are they. Go ahead.
Self-will.
Self-will. Okay, so the definition was right there in the next spot. All I had to do was look. I'll pray the Most High. Go ahead.
They are not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
They ain't even afraid to speak evil of dignities, those that are in power. Go ahead.
Whereas angels,
It says, whereas the angels, go ahead.
which are greater in power,
Which greater in power,
And
go
might.
ahead. And in might, go ahead.
bring not railing accusations against them before the Lord.
It says they don't even bring railing accusation against them before the Lord. Everybody in here got an angel that's writing down everything you doing, jotting it down, and going straight to the Most High. And they really ain't even bringing a railing accusation against you. Man, look what Madanaha did today. Look what they ain't even doing it. They don't even want to do that. They don't even want to go to the Most High and say,
He at it again.
he had it again, you know. He did. They don't want to do that. They not even bringing a real accusation against you. Go ahead, verse 12.
Verse 12. But these as natural brute beasts.
But these, as natural brute beasts, these repeat offenders, go ahead.
Made to be taken and destroyed.
Is it really made to be taken and destroyed? Because they ain't taking this book serious. They ain't taking these laws, statutes, and commandments serious. You got folks right now that just had Day of Atonement. And coming right out of Day of Atonement, the same person they would before they went in. They ain't taking it seriously. They natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed. Go ahead.
Speak evil of the things that they understand
And they
not,
speak evil of the things that they don't understand. Go ahead.
and shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
Because it's corruption. It's corruption to go against the... We'll be reading the precept, and people will sit there and literally justify what they doing. You read the precept, tell them, okay, you can't do X, Y, Z. They're like, well, sister, it said they're going to perish in their own corruption. Read verse 13.
And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness.
And going to receive the reward of unrighteousness. Keep going.
As they count it pleasure, as they that count it pleasure to ride in the daytime.
As they that count it pleasure to ride in the daytime. Keep going.
Spots they are and blemishes.
The Bible says spots they are and blemishes. Go ahead.
Sporting themselves
With
their own deceiving.
their own deceivings. Watch this.
While they feast with you.
Man, it's talking about folks in the truth. It says they're going to sport themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. They're going to be right there eating with you. And they're going to be doing what else? Read verse 14.
Having eyes full of adultery.
Having eyes full of adultery. We were just talking about this earlier today, or maybe yesterday. You know, I'm not going to mention, you know, the camp or nothing like that. But the camp had a brother in their school that was, well, a couple of times. They had a couple of brothers in different scenarios that was full of adultery. Right there while they eat with you. Come right out there and sit beside you, Solomon, bro. Whole time, brother, want your wife. Eyes full of adultery while they feast with you. One brother got judged and died. Throat closed up.
That's the one that had monkeypox. We think the Most High playing. We think the Most High is playing. Give me a precept. I was gonna wait till my turn, but I want to go ahead and bring this one precept out. We think the Most High playing, man. I mean, all of us, you know, we got things going on. Matter of fact, give me two real quick. Give me 2 Timothy 2:22. We think the Most High playing. The Most High judged that brother. Kissed a woman, caught monkeypox. Why? Because he committed adultery. Laying with another man's wife. All these single sisters out here. No, you want the married sister. And you are Israelite.
Having eyes full of adultery.
Full of adultery.
While they feast with you.
While they feast with you. Then the brother confessed on his deathbed. Come. Then he confessed on his deathbed. I said it once and I said it again. If you're going to do anything, do it right. Go.
Everybody know this scripture. Give me Exodus 20. See, a lot of people read the Bible like you got commas behind certain stuff. You know, so they put commas behind certain stuff and add to it. Like, we can't do that. So give me Exodus 20.
or 14.
Yeah, give me 14.
The book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Man, it said, thou should not commit adultery. Get what brothers would do and sisters would do. They'll say, thou should not commit adultery, comma, but, you know what I'm saying, but they add to the Bible. It said, thou should not commit adultery. That's it.
And it's a period
It's
right behind
It's a period right there. They'll add to it and say, well, they said, thou should not commit adultery, but, you know, my wife make me mad. I could go over here and just mess off. They'll try to justify that. But it said, thou should not commit adultery. You even go up right here, it said, thou should not kill, period.
Or my husband ain't leading right.
Yeah,
So
they'll try to justify it.
Yeah.
Can I get another one?
You want 17?
Now give me Deuteronomy 4, verse 12. I think Deuteronomy 4, verse 12. Don't add to it. So we can't be adding to the word, man. If you got a period right there, that's what it means. I know, man, came up with a great example though earlier about the swine. You know what I'm saying? What you were saying?
Right. People try to act like the Most High laws are complex. Mm-hmm. He said what he said. He said, look, man, don't eat the swine. It's unclean to you. Mm-hmm. Man, he didn't go in the Bible and say, don't eat the swine because it's going to rearrange your molecular structure. And all. He didn't do all that. It's simple as pie. Easy as pie. Mm-hmm. Man, don't eat the swine. Don't kill.
Yep.
Don't commit adultery. It was flat out. He didn't make no stipulation. He didn't do no deviation. The Bible say he gave no man license to sin, period.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Hey, what's that, John? They said not diminish or add. I know it's in Deuteronomy 4.
Deuteronomy 4. Let's see here.
I know it's in Deuteronomy 4.
Let's see. It's been a minute since I looked at it.
Here you go, right here, verse 2. Yeah, verse 2. Read Deuteronomy 4, verse 2.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 2. We shall not add unto the word.
What it say again?
Ye shall not add unto the word.
It said, if it say, thou shalt not commit adultery, that's what it means. Don't add to it. It said, ye should not add unto the word. Keep going.
Which I command you.
Which I command you. Keep going.
Neither shall you diminish out from it.
So don't add or take away from it. Go by how I said. If the law say not to do that, man, don't do it. If it say, they being real, if it say, thou shalt not steal, man, don't put no comma behind it. It said, thou shalt not steal. Keep going.
That they may keep the commandments of the Lord your God.
What it say again?
That ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God.
So guess what? You're a career criminal too if you add to the word. It said, what it say again?
That ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
So that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. And it's another one in Revelation 22 that speak the same way. Don't add to his word.
Let me back.
So she asked me, she said, well, can I get we got this thing called it's an egg, bacon, and cheese with a name. Okay. And she said, can I get that? I said, well, now you just sitting and told me that you knew that every law. But she said, as long as you pray over it, you can eat. I said, show me that in scripture. And she can put it up somewhere. That's right, it's not it.
I ain't never knew Seventh-day Adventists eat swine. But I know they eat vegan swine. Now they do. Yeah.
They just keep the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Now some of them do keep the dietary law.
They destroy all the other laws. The man was in West Seventh-day.
Now me and Zach, we used to be part of it. Like they believe. Yeah, some of them.
Just like the modern day Christian church, you got some folks in there that's really, really trying to do it. They just don't have the right understanding. But then you got folks in there faking the funk. So that's just really how I go. Go ahead, bro.
Give me 2 Timothy 2:22.
22.
A lot of us in the church here at Isaac and on YouTube and Facebook been dealing with some of the same things we're dealing with now since our younger days. Some of you sisters been hateful since y'all was 11 years old, and you're still hateful. You still hateful. Some of the brothers been lustful. They ain't just turned lustful. Some of the brothers been lustful since they was beaten in the bathroom at 10. Been there and done that. Read that.
He made it blunt for you young men in here. Don't be. We said this at Tabernacle last week.
I mean, don't get mad at the priest
don't be
or
touching yourself now.
come on, don't get mad at the brother when he, you know what I'm saying, want to be blunt and straightforward. Cause we go home and watch Netflix. You go right home and watch Amazon Prime. All these homosexual commercials that come on. Don't get mad at us.
Oh, ain't like y'all ain't seen Game of Thrones.
That's right.
And Power and all type of stuff that go on them shows.
That's right.
You know what's going on in them shows. So sometimes you got to be blunt and straight to the point.
That's
like
right.
the most straight to the point. Don't do this. Boom.
That's right.
Young men, don't be touching on yourself. Boom.
That's right.
Period.
Go ahead. Read that.
Grown men too.
Oh, read that out.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Flee also you for lust.
Read it again.
Flee also you for lust.
Some of us the stuff we dealing with today, we've been dealing with it since we was young. And you ain't got to tell me I'm lying. You ain't got to tell the spirit is, no, the spirit ain't lying. Your spirit bearing witness with what the scripture's saying. Some of these things we've been dealing with since we was youth. Read it again.
Flee also youthful lust.
Flee also youthful lust. What are you dealing with that you've been dealing with since you was 11, 12, 13 years old? It's affecting how you live today. It's affecting how you treating your brother and how you treating your sister. Read it again.
Flee also youthful lust.
Flee also youthful lust. Some of us have been lying and are habitual liars. They've been dealing with this since we've been children, since we've been youths. Right. We got to flee that thing. It's time for some of us to grow the hell up. It's time to grow the hell up. What you gonna do? Time going short. You been walking around pouting since you were 13. Here you are 42, 43, 50, 36, 27, 84.
He giving out his lottery number.
God, you sure live. Still doing it. Some of our young men in here and on Facebook been dealing with lust. You remember back in the day we used to get those, yeah, I've been there. I can tell it. You know, back in those days, you know, mama get the mail. Yeah. Mama, I know. Mama get the mail, and she get these little magazines with the women with the bras and the panties in the, no, it wasn't Playboy, it was regular. Right, Jet.
Somebody was gonna holler that. I was just wanting to
there we go.
Do it.
Jet. Right, beauty of the week. Beauty of the week. And my mama used to always say, hold on, why is this same page always coming up missing? I had it. Sorry, mama, I had it. I ripped it out real gentle and folded it up.
You ripped it
threw it
out?
in my pocket, and later on, when it was bath time, it was on.
Did you read the back of it and see what she liked?
No, hush. I didn't want to know what she was like. She was pretty.
Turn his mic off.
Nah. Read it again. Yeah. Read it again.
Flee also youthful lust.
Flee also youthful lust. Read.
But follow righteousness.
What?
But follow righteousness.
Read.
Faith. Charity.
Read.
Peace.
Peace.
With them that call on the Lord.
With them that call on who?
On the Lord. Out of pure heart.
Real quick, 1 Corinthians 13:11. And I yield. It's time to grow the hell up. All of us. It's time for us to grow up, y'all. We at war. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. Some of the stuff that we going through and that we dealing with here at I.S.A.A.C and even on Facebook, we shouldn't be dealing with. Some of the stuff you dealing with, you shouldn't even be dealing with. It's time to grow up. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 10. Verse 11, right? When I was a child.
When I was a youth.
I spake as a child.
I spake as a youth.
I understood as a child.
I understood as a youth.
I thought as a child.
I thought as a youth.
But when I became
I became a man or a woman, either one.
I put away child.
Don't speed. Read it again.
When I was a child.
When I was a child.
I spake as a child.
I spake as a child.
I understood as a child.
I understood as a child.
I thought as a child.
I thought as a child. Read.
But when I became a man.
But when I became a man, when you became a woman, read.
I put away childish things.
I put away childish things. Some of the things you sisters going through, you shouldn't be dealing with. Period. It's time to grow up. Let that soak in. It's time to grow up. It's time to be that Titus 2. And Joanne agree. All praise to the Lord. It's time for us to grow up, y'all. We're about to meet the Savior. We're about to see the Savior face to face, eyeball to eyeball. We're about to sit at the table and drink wine and eat with the King, and we still down here dealing with. And Paul spoke about that. We the ones gonna judge the earth, and we can't deal with small little crap down here on earth. Are you kidding me? We've been habitual since we was 13 and 14 years old. It's time to grow up. I'm speaking to myself too. It's time to grow up.
That's who we hit first. It hit us first.
Come.
The teachers.
Come.
We couldn't ourselves.
Come. How you gonna teach somebody else and you ain't grew up? How you gonna teach the lilies and you all up in age? How you gonna teach the younger sister how to love their husband? How you gonna do that and you right here back talking your husband? You're a hypocrite. How you expect the sister to treat you the right way and you doing the same thing you convicting the sister of, you doing to another sister? How we gonna teach the junior Maccabees, men, how to be ready for war? Even the brothers online, and we showing up late. We got to flee you for love. We cannot continue to be habitual offenders. And that's what King going into. We can't do that. It's time to grow up. It's time to be men. We at war. It's time to make it happen. Come.
All right, so the brother just brought the precept, said, but when I became a man, what is it to be a man? There's a lot of different misconceptions about what it is to be a man. But you have to prove that in the Bible, what the Bible say a man is. 1 Kings chapter 2. Let's get that. 1 Kings 2. So you can know what it is to be a man. We say put away youthful lust. Because guess what? If you doing the opposite of what we finna read right here, you can't even really say you a man. You need to be saying, look, I'm working on becoming one. That's the best thing you can say. 1 Kings chapter 2. Read verse 1.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now the days of David drew nigh, that he should die.
It says, now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. Go ahead.
He charged Solomon his son, saying,
He charged his son Solomon, saying what?
I go the way of the earth.
Now read that again.
I go the way of all the earth.
I go the way of all the earth. I go the way that everybody finna go. Go ahead.
Be thou strong, therefore.
It says, be thou strong, therefore.
And show thyself a man.
And show thyself a man. So here's the thing. He told him, be strong and show yourself a man. Because guess what? It's something that you're going to have to do to prove that you're a man, but you're going to have to be strong doing it. Because it ain't easy doing it. It's different temptations that's going to come about. Go ahead, verse 3.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
He said, be strong and show yourself a man and keep the charge of the Lord thy God. We're in that sentence right there. We say, oh, man, you a man when you got a whole bunch of money. That didn't say that right there. Right there it said, keep the charge of the Lord thy God. It didn't say, oh, to be a man, you got to have 7, 8, 9, 10 different women to show that you real masculine. It don't say that right there. It says, be strong and show thyself a man and keep the charge of the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
To walk in his ways.
To walk in his ways. Go ahead.
To keep his statutes.
To keep his statutes.
And his commandments.
And his commandments. Go ahead.
And his judgments.
And his judgments.
And his testimonies.
And his testimonies.
As it is written.
As it is what?
As it is written.
No, as it is spoken by other people that might have a beard on their face.
As it is written.
Is it as it is written? Go ahead.
In the law of Moses.
In the law of Moses. That's what you do to make you a man. Go ahead.
That thou mayest prosper in all that doest.
Then you gonna prosper. Work on that first, and then everything you do gonna prosper. Go ahead.
And whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
And whithersoever you turn yourself, you gonna prosper. That's what's gonna make you the man first. Keep these commandments of God. That's what's gonna make you that. Going back to 2 Peter 2. Where we leave off at. Verse 14. Because we just read in verse 13, it says, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, talking about habitual offenders. It says, as they counted pleasure to riot in the daytime. It says, spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. And then the A part, it says, having eyes full of adultery. Go ahead.
Having eyes full of adultery.
Uh-huh.
And that cannot cease from sin.
They can't stop sinning. This is what a habitual offender does. This is what a career criminal does when they break the laws of God. They can't stop sinning. No matter what, they just got to keep putting their hand to iniquity. Like, what's going to make them stop? They can't stop. Go ahead.
Beguiling unstable souls.
And not only will they not stop, they going to beguile unstable souls. Some that might be on the fence trying to figure it out. You going to trick them out of position too. Go ahead.
And heart they have exercised with covetous practices.
It says, and heart they have exercised with covetous practices. Go ahead.
Cursed children.
Cursed children. Go ahead.
Which have forsaken the right way.
Which have forsaken the right way, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
And are gone astray.
And are gone astray. Go ahead.
Following the way of Balaam.
Following the way of Balaam. Go ahead.
The son of Bosor.
The son of Bosor. Go ahead.
Who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Hold on, read that again.
Who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
That boy said, love the wages of wrong righteousness. Boy, I'm talking about, we begin some, well, Hebrew, all praise to the Most High, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. This is what Balaam loved to do. He loved it. He was a habitual offender. That was his career. You get paid off of your career, right? The wages of unrighteousness, he loved it. Keep going.
But was rebuked for his iniquity.
But was rebuked for his iniquity. Go ahead.
The dumb ass speaking with man's voice.
The dumb ass speaking with man's voice. Go ahead.
Forbade the madness of the prophet.
Forbade the madness of that prophet. Give me Numbers 22. Take your time, 'cause we finna read this thing. Numbers 22. Start at verse 1. This is Balaam, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. Numbers 22, start at verse 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 22, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And the children of Israel
And the children of Israel
set forth
go ahead.
and pitched in the plains of Moab.
They pitched in the plains of Moab, go ahead.
On this side of Jordan by
On
Jericho.
this side of Jordan by Jericho, keep going.
And Balak,
The
son of Zippor,
the son of Zippor, go ahead.
saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites.
So he saw what Israel had did to the Amorites. Go ahead.
And Moab was so afraid of the people.
And Moab was afraid because of what Israel had been doing in the wilderness already. Go ahead.
Because they were many.
Because they were many. Go ahead.
And Moab was distressed.
And Moab was distressed.
Because all the children of Israel.
Because of the children of Israel. Keep going.
And Moab said unto the elders of Midian.
And Moab said to the elders what?
Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us.
This company of people, they finna lick up everything around us. Go ahead.
As the ox licketh up the grass
like
of
the ox lick up the grass of the field. Go ahead.
And Balak, the son of the poor, was king of the Moabites at the time.
So Balak was king of the Moabites. Keep going. We getting to a point here. We just reading this for context. You got to get some context. Here a little, there a little. Go ahead.
He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam.
But in this case, here a lot. He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam. Go ahead.
The son of Beor.
The son of Beor.
To Pethor.
To Pethor. Go ahead.
Which is by the river of the land of the children of his people.
Keep going.
To call him, saying,
what did he say?
Behold,
there
is a people come out from Egypt.
There's a people that came out of Egypt. We know who these people is. This is the Israelites. Go ahead.
Behold, they cover the face of the earth.
They cover the face of the earth. Go ahead.
And they abide over against me.
And they abide over against me. What did he tell Balaam?
Come now, therefore, I pray thee.
Come there, therefore, go ahead, I pray thee.
Curse me in this people.
Brother, read that again. Take your time.
Curse me this people.
He said, curse me this people. He told Balaam, look, go out there and curse these people. Because Balaam had the power to bless and curse, and whatever he said was going to happen. He says, come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. Go ahead.
For they are too mighty for me.
For they are too mighty for me. Go ahead.
Peradventure I shall prevail.
I might prevail if you do it. Go ahead.
That we may smite them.
That we may smite them. Go ahead.
And that I may drive them out of the land.
And that I might drive them out of the land. Go ahead.
I wot.
Uh-huh. For I wot. Go ahead.
That he whom thou blessed is blessed.
Give him a break, King. Salaki. My brother, he been working hard all night reading. Give him a little slack. he look kind of fatigued. Give my brother a little break. All right, read verse 6 again, King.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 22 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Come now, therefore.
He says, come now, therefore. Go ahead.
I pray thee.
I pray thee. Go ahead.
Curse me this people.
Curse me this people. Go ahead.
For they are too mighty for me.
They too mighty for me. Go ahead.
Peradventure I shall prevail.
He said, peradventure I shall prevail. Go ahead.
That we might smite them.
That we might smite them. Go ahead.
And that I may drive them out of the land.
That I might drive them out of the land. Go ahead.
For I wot that he whom thou blessed is blessed.
He says, for I wot that he whom thou blessest is blessed. Whoever you bless, they going to be blessed. Go ahead.
And he whom thou cursest is cursed.
And whoever you curse, they get cursed. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the elders of Moab.
And the elders of Moab, go ahead.
And the elders of Midian.
And the elders of Midian, go ahead.
Departed with the rewards of the divination in their hand.
They departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. They was ready to pay them. Keep going.
And they came unto Balaam, and spoke unto him the word of Balaam.
Lord, we better give back the name. Is that they spake the words unto him? Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
Stop playing, Ezra.
Come on, King.
Verse 8. And he said unto them, Lodge here this night.
He says, lodge here this night. Go ahead.
And I will bring you word again.
He said, I'm going to bring you word again, because they told him, look, man, go and curse these people. He said, lodge here this night, and I'm going to bring you word again. Go ahead.
As the Lord shall speak unto me.
So as the Lord shall speak unto me. So Balaam going to go to the Most High. He gonna ask the Most High, what it is should I do to this people? Because at this time, Balaam had no idea that Israel was the chosen seed of God. Go ahead.
And the princes of Moab abode in Balaam.
And so they abode with Balaam. He said, stay right here with me tonight. I'm going to go ask the Most High real quick. Go ahead, verse 9.
Verse 9. And God came unto Balaam.
And what he say?
And said,
what he say?
What men are these with thee?
He said, who are these men with you, Balaam? Go ahead.
And Balaam said unto God,
what he say?
Balak, the son of Zippor.
So this right here, this Balak, the son of Zippor, go ahead.
King of Moab.
This one is the king of Moab. Go ahead.
Has sent unto me.
Has sent unto me.
Saying
what?
Behold, there is a people out of Egypt which covered the face of the earth.
So he told me it's a people that came out of Egypt that covered the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Come now. Curse me them.
He told me to curse them. Go ahead.
Peradventure, I shall be able to overcome them.
He said, peradventure, I shall be able to overcome them. Go ahead.
And drive them out.
And drive them out. This is what they said to me, God. Go ahead.
And God said unto Balaam,
what he say?
Thou shalt not go with them.
He said, man, don't go with them. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not curse the people.
Thou shalt not curse the people.
For they are blessed.
For they are blessed. The Most High gave Balaam a commandment right here. He said, don't curse this people. They blessed. Leave them alone. Go ahead, verse 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And Balaam rose up in the morning.
And Balaam rose up in the morning. We reading this for context, y'all, but I promise you, bear with me. Bear with me as the Most High with me. And we going to get to a point here. It says, verse 13, and Balaam rose up in the morning. Go ahead.
And said unto the princes of Balak.
And he said, and said unto the princes of Balak. Go ahead.
Get you into your land.
He says, get you in your land. Y'all done came over here. Y'all done asked me to curse this people. Go on back to your land, man. Go ahead.
For the Lord refused to give me leave to go with you.
The Most High refused it. He told me not to go with y'all about these things. Go ahead, verse 14.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And the princes of Moab rose up.
The princes of Moab rose up.
And they went unto Balak.
So they went back to the king of Moab. They went back to Balak. Go ahead.
And said.
And said what?
Balaam refused to come with us.
He said, my Balaam refused to come with us. Go ahead.
And Balak sent yet again princes.
He said, Balak sent yet again princes. Go ahead.
More
princes. Go ahead.
And more honorable than they.
And more honorable than the man that he sent at first. See, and that's what happened to a lot of Israel right now. They'll get a commandment from God, and then they'll turn around and they'll go and talk to a man that might have a little bit more honor. And they're going to get counsel. Keep going.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And they came to Balaam.
And they came to Balaam. Go ahead.
And said to him.
What'd they say?
Thus said Balak, the son of Zippor.
Go ahead.
Let nothing, I pray thee.
He said, don't let nothing, I pray thee, go ahead.
Hinder thee from coming unto me.
For to hinder me from coming unto thee. Hinder you from coming unto me. Go ahead.
For I will promote thee unto very great honor.
He said, man, I promote you to very great honor. Now he getting wicked counsel now. Go ahead.
And I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me.
I'm going to do whatever you say unto me if you just gonna come over here. Go ahead.
Come therefore,
I pray thee. Go ahead.
Curse me this people.
Curse me this people. Go ahead, verse 18.
And Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak.
What'd he say?
If Balak will give me his house full of silver and gold.
Stop right there. The Most High had already given him a commandment and said, look, do not curse this people. He done went and got some wicked counsel from some honorable men or men that appeared to be honorable after the Most High gave him strict commandments. And you're going to go over there and you're going to sin and you're going to commit a crime against his law anyway. Whatever the Most High say is law, period. It says, and he said, well, if he give me a house his house full of silver and gold, go ahead.
I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God.
He said, I can't go beyond the word of the Lord my God. Go ahead.
To do less or more.
To do less or more. So, Salaki, I jumped the gun right there. He rejected it right there, but keep going.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Now, therefore, I pray you, tarry ye also here this night.
He said, now therefore I pray you, tarry ye also here this night. Go ahead.
That I may know what the Lord will say unto me more.
That I may know what the Lord will say unto me more. So I misquoted. I'm sorry about that, y'all. So what he did was, once they told him that, he said, I'm going to go back and ask the Most High again. After the Most High gave you what it is that you need to do. I'm going to go right back and I'm going to ask some more. Go here, verse 20. Let's see how the Most High responds.
Verse 20. And God came unto Balaam at night.
He came to him at night. Go ahead.
And said unto him.
He said what?
If the men come to call thee.
If the men come to call thee.
Rise up and go with them.
He said, go on, rise up and go with them. Go ahead.
But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do.
He said, go on, rise with them, but the word I say unto you, that shall you do. Verse 21.
Verse 21. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass.
He rose up in the morning, he saddled his ass. Go ahead.
And went with the princes of Moab.
And he went with the princes of Moab. Read verse 22.
Verse 22. And God's anger was kindled because he went.
And the Most High was pissed off because he went. Who caught why the Most High was mad? Any brother. He gave him a commandment the first time. And he went back. This is what we do in Israel. We read the commandment. You know what it is you're supposed to do the first time, but you left and you went to listen to somebody else. And they said, well, let me go back and look at it again. It might not mean what I think it means. No, it meant exactly what it said do. So the Most High said, oh, go ahead, go on. In the morning, go on, get up and go with them. Go with them in the morning. It says, and God's anger was kindled because he went. Keep going.
Verse 22. And God's anger was kindled because he went.
It was kindled because he went, man. He told you what it is, what you're supposed to do. And you going around and you trying to misinterpret. Like, well, let me go back and see what the Most High going to say about this. Did he really mean that? Go ahead.
And the angel of the Most High stood in the way for an adversary against him.
And the angel of the Most High stood in the way as an adversary with him. Go ahead.
Now he was riding upon his ass.
Now he was riding on his ass. Go ahead.
And his two servants were with him.
His two servants was with him. Go ahead.
And the ass saw the angel of the Lord.
And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way. Go ahead.
Standing in the way.
Standing in the way. Metaphorically, we can say that their ass, metaphorically, is the situations in your life. The Most High looking at your life. He said, and the ass saw the angel standing in the way of the Lord, in his way. Go ahead.
And his sword drawn in his hand.
And his sword drawn in his hand. Go ahead.
And the ass turned aside out of the way.
And the ass turned aside out of the way. Now the Most High threw a mockery in the game on your life. Boom, out of the way. Go ahead.
It went into the field.
And it went into the field. You thought something was going to go this way. The Most High blew on the ass over here in the field. Go ahead.
And Balaam smote the ass.
And Balaam smote the ass. Go ahead.
To turn her into the way.
No, come back. I wanted to go this way. Trying to fight against what the Most High just judged you on. Not even looking at it. Go ahead.
Verse 24. But the angel of the Lord stood in a path of the vineyard.
So here go another punishment. But the angel of the Lord stood in a path of the vineyards. Go ahead.
A wall being on this side.
A wall being on this side. Go ahead.
And a wall on that side.
And a wall on that side. The Most High be trying to prevent us from doing certain iniquities, but we still keep on doing it. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord.
And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord.
She thrusted herself unto the wall.
There go another judgment. And thrust herself in the wall. And what happened when she thrust herself in the wall? Go ahead.
And crushed Balaam's foot.
Crushed his foot. That's another judgment. Go ahead.
Against the wall.
And crushed it against the wall. Go ahead.
And he smote her again.
And he smote her again. Go ahead, verse 26.
Verse 26. And the angel of the Most High went further.
The angel of the Most High went further. Go ahead.
And stood in a narrow place.
And stood in a narrow place. Go ahead.
Where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left.
And the Most High, if we keep on being a habitual sinner, if we keep on being a career criminal, it's going to come to a point in your life, ain't going to be nowhere you to go on the left or the right-hand side. Their ass is metaphorically our lives. if we sin. Keep going.
Verse 27.
Uh-huh.
And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord,
When the ass saw the angel of the Lord, then it got to the pinnacle after we have habitually sinned in the sight of the Most High. Go ahead.
she fell down under Balaam.
She fell down up under Balaam. Go ahead.
And Balaam's anger was kindled.
Now Balaam pissed off because everything going wrong. Go ahead.
And he smote the ass with a staff.
And he smote the ass with the staff. Go ahead.
And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass.
And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass. Go ahead.
And she said unto Balaam,
What did she say unto Balaam?
What have I done unto thee?
What have I done unto thee? Sooner or later, if you keep on doing what you doing, your life gonna get to talking to you. Your life gonna get to talking to you like, what am I doing? What have I done unto you? Go ahead.
What have I done unto thee?
What have I done unto thee? Go ahead.
That thou hast smitten me these 3 times.
You have smitten me these 3 times. Go ahead.
Verse 29. And Balaam said unto the ass,
What'd he say?
Because thou hast mocked me.
Because thou hast mocked me. Who in here catching the fact that this man talking to an ass? See, but this is what we do as Israelites. We gonna put it on everything else instead of realizing, man, damn, man, I done transgressed against the Father. We gonna say it's like, oh man, it's because I didn't do this, or it's because of X, Y, and Z. No, it's because you sinned against the Most High. Now you talking to the ass, saying, "Oh, you mocking me?" Go ahead.
And Balaam said unto the ass,
What'd he say?
Because thou hast mocked me.
He said, "Thou hast mocked me." Go ahead.
I would there were a sword in mine hand.
He said, "Man, if it was a sword in my hand, go ahead."
For now would I kill thee.
He told the ass, "I'll kill you right now the way you just did me." Go ahead, verse 30.
Verse 30.
Uh-huh.
And the ass said unto Balaam,
What the ass say?
Am not I thine ass?
Am I not thine ass? Am I not your life? This is what's gonna happen to Israel. Look, am I not your life? Go ahead.
Upon which thou hast written ever since I was thine unto this day.
Man, this been your life forever, since you were born. Go ahead.
Was I ever wont to do also unto thee?
Have I ever did this thing to you? The strange things is happening to you right now. Have I ever did this to you? Go ahead.
And he said, Nay.
No. Go ahead, verse 31.
Verse 31. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam.
Then he opened the eyes of Balaam. Now you can see. Go ahead.
And he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way.
And he saw the angel of the Lord standing in his way. Go ahead.
And his sword drawn in his hand.
And his sword drawn in his hand. Go ahead.
And he bowed down his head.
He bowed down his head.
And fell flat on his face.
And fell flat on his face. That's what we need to do, Israel. We need to repent. Fall down on your face and repent unto the Most High and do what Balaam is about to do right here, verse 32.
Verse 32. And the angel of the Most High said unto him,
What'd he say?
Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times?
He said, why you done smitten your ass these 3 times? Go ahead.
Behold, I went out to withstand thee.
Behold, I went out to withstand thee. I stood in your way, and everything that you put your hand to, everything that you were trying to do, I stood in your way. I stopped you. I prevented you. Why? Keep going.
Because thy way is perverse before me.
Because your way is perverse before me. That's why I did that. Keep going.
Verse 33. And the ass saw me.
And the ass saw me.
And turned from me these 3 times.
And turned from me these 3 times. Go ahead.
Unless she had turned from me.
Now watch this. Unless she had turned from me, and unless the Most High do what he do in your life to punish you and judge you, unless he do these things, what he gonna do?
Surely now also I had slain
Surely
thee.
now, if I ain't put that stuff in your life to slow you down, I would have killed your ass. Real talk. Excuse my language, but you got to get blunt like that. Had I not did that unto you, I would have killed you. Go ahead.
And saved her alive.
And saved her alive. Keep going.
Verse 34.
Uh-huh.
And Balaam said unto the angel of the Most High.
What'd he say?
I have sinned.
I have sinned, man. We have to say that and turn from that. My Father, I have sinned. Go ahead.
For I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me.
Because I didn't know that you was doing this to me. I didn't know that you was standing in the way against me. Because guess what? When we be in sin, when we be in iniquity, we can't see it. I'm speaking to myself. When I've done crazy stuff, I could not see it. But the Most High got to whoop you, pow, 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 and then he going to open up your eyes and say your way was perverse. Keep going.
Now therefore,
if it displease thee,
I will get me back again.
Look, if it displease you, I'm just going to turn around. I ain't going to do it no more. I'm going to go back against thee. But for the sake of time, I'm going to yield right there, King. Go ahead.
All praise to that. So what's the beginning? You know how we can start out being a career criminal? I can't say the word right. Career criminal is by not hearing the word of the Most High. So by hearing the word of the Most High, bring faith. Give me your Romans 10:17 just to prove that. And you know, that was wrong with Israel. We don't hear. We could be in this joint all day. Con, shalom, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be long. Yeah, but give me Hebrews 10, verse 17.
Hebrews 10 or Romans?
I mean Romans 10, 17. My bad.
Okay. Ready when you are, King.
Gonna go.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 17. So then, faith cometh by hearing.
It says, so then, faith cometh by hearing. Keep going.
And hearing by the word of Yahweh.
And hearing by the word of God. So this how you build your faith by hearing. And Israel got it bad today. We don't like listening. Sometimes we'll just agree to go with the flow. Give me Zechariah 7. Start at verse 8.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 8. And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts.
So the Most High, he finna give out commandments. What he need to tell Israel. Keep going.
Saying, execute true judgment.
He said, execute true judgment.
And show mercy.
And show mercy.
And compassion.
And compassion.
Every man to his brother.
So these commandments that the Most High telling Zechariah to say. Keep going.
And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart.
But what they do?
Verse 11. But they refuse to hearken.
He said, but they refuse to hearken. So the Most High, he gave out law and order right there. He told them to, what did he say? He said, execute true judgment. He said, oppress not the widow nor the fatherless. So he gave them commandment. Keep going.
And pulled away his shoulder.
No. What did it say again?
And pulled away the shoulder.
So Israel, they refused not to hearken. They turned their back towards the Most High. Pulled away their shoulder. That's how we could become career criminals, not listen to the word of God. Keep going.
And stopped their ears.
And stopped their ears. I'm talking, they putting their hands to their ears. Saying, oh, you want to listen to that. Let me block him out. He probably even saying something. The Most High probably using them saying something right. But guess what? Don't want to listen to it. Don't want to hear discipline. Keep going.
That they should not hear. Verse 12. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone.
He said they made their hearts as an adamant stone. What the word adamant mean? What you say?
I got it right here.
You look it up right quick.
Adamant.
Determined. Okay.
Refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind.
Not even want to change. Even though they know they got the answer right here. This book right here. But still don't want to change. Still want to be stuck in their ways. This starting to be a career criminal, but not hearing the word of the Most High. Keep going.
Their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts had sent in his spirit by the former prophets.
Keep going.
Therefore, come a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
So guess what? Since you don't want to hear the words of the Most High, guess what's gonna come? A great wrath, a judgment. So we gotta willing to want to hear the word to build our faith up. Not only just hearing, we gotta do it too. So willing to hear the word to build your faith up. So you rejecting it, you keep on slapping the Most High hand. Guess what you're gonna be? You is a career criminal, and the Most High going to deal with you. Keep going.
Verse 13. Therefore, it is come to pass that as he cried, and they will not hear, so they cried, and I will not hear, saith the Lord of hosts.
So guess what? Since we don't want to hear the Most High, guess what? He ain't gonna hear us either. We keep on rejecting the word of the Most High. Go to 14.
Verse 14. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations.
So why you think we're here now? Why you think we're in this land right now? Because we don't want to hear the words of the Most High. This be real. As a nation, we are career criminals. We don't want to hear the Most High word. We keep on slapping the Most High hand every time. When something right come out, guess what? We gonna mock it. I don't want to hear that. That might a coon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. If a brother speaking out something right, listen. Even if a sister say something right, listen. So we gotta do better. So we gotta start hearing the word to build our faith up. Go to Jeremiah 6.
Finish that off.
Yeah, finish it off.
Okay. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate.
All right, go to Jeremiah 6. Started, let me see. Let me look at it. It is started verse 17.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet.
So he said, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. The Most High, he set up leaders. He sent out prophets. He said, hearken to them. The sound of what did he say? Sound of the trumpet. So when you hear that warning, listen. Don't reject, don't slap the hand of the Most High, whoever he sent. Keep going.
But they said, we will not hearken.
They said out their own mouth. What they say?
We will not hearken.
They said, we will not hearken, and we do that today. It's, in other words, in other actions. We probably don't say it out our mouth physically, but guess what? When we start doing our own thing, trying to justify our wickedness, guess what we doing? We saying we would not hearken. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Give me your Proverbs 17:15. And then we'll come back.
Proverbs 17 and 15.
Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord.
He said, he that justified the wicked, and he that condemned the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. So when they say they condemn a brother, some condemn his sisters and brothers when they speak right. They call them all types of names, all that type of stuff. So we really got to get better. It start hearkening to the word. It build our faith up. Cause if we don't hear it, guess what? The Most High going to bring these plagues and wrath. He going to have to use it. He going to have to judge us. So we just got to wake up. They go to Jeremiah. Go back to Jeremiah 6.
Start back at verse 18.
Yeah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 18. Therefore hear, ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them.
Keep going.
Verse 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts.
Because of what?
Because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor my law, but rejected it.
So this is what we got to do. The Most High going to judge us. That's all we got to do. It's hear and do. Hear and do. But since we don't want to hear and do, guess what? He gonna have to punish us. He gonna have to take us through something. And then we keep on going that route, and we don't listen to the Most High, guess what's gonna happen? Death. Nobody don't want to die in their sins. And I hope nobody in here don't. That's why we become career criminals when we don't listen. And all us in here, all us hard-headed. Sometimes I try to justify something. You know what I'm saying? Give me, you go to Isaiah 5:20. So we always try to, some of our people, they justify the wicked. They justify wickedness. Read verse 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
It said destruction unto them that call evil good and good evil. So you justify wickedness and you think they say, oh, it's okay to do this right here. But no, the Most High said, woe to them. Woe to them. Keep going.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Keep going.
Verse 21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
It said, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, thinking they know it all. Sometimes brothers and sisters, they can read the scripture and say, I know more than that. I can explain it better. I even add to it. Think they know something. And there's a lot of people that doing that in Israel right now. I mean, they do it so much, they should have their own book. What you gonna be real? Try to justify their own righteousness. Give me matter of fact, go to Proverbs 14:12.
Finish that off.
Yeah, finish it off.
Imprudent in their own sight.
Imprudent in their own sight. Think they know it all. That's how we become career criminals. Think we know something, and sometimes we'll just close the book and say, I'm finna go by how I feel. In Israel. They go to Proverbs 14. Start at verse 12.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
He said, there is a way. So there's a way that seemeth right to a man. Guess what's going to happen, though? Keep going.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
So because you may think your thoughts right. You may think the thing that you're doing is right. But guess what? It said, what did it say? But the end thereof are the ways of death.
The end thereof are the ways of death.
So we probably think it's right. Sometimes we probably have right thoughts. We probably think it's right in our own head to do. But guess what? The Most High ain't pleased with that. Our thoughts ain't the Most High thoughts. We probably think it's something and it probably lead us to death. So we gotta really submit to the Father. Let's try to avoid being a career criminal. If we don't listen, guess what we is? We thieves. Man, we breaking laws, we breaking crime, fornicators, all that. So they try to put their career criminal to the side and repent and hearken to the words of the Most High, because it start with hearing the word. Hearken. It then apply. You.
All praises. This is a beautiful lesson for the body, even those who are online. And we're going to be out here shortly. But to put a tail on the lesson, before we go back to court, this for all brothers and all sisters, before we go to court, back to court, we can't go back as habitual offenders. We don't want to appear before the judge yet again with the same sins, the same situations, and things been going on in our life, right? Hebrews 9:27.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 9 and verse 27.
Read.
And as it is appointed unto men once to die.
Once to what?
Once to die.
Once to die. Read.
But after this, the judgment.
But after this, what?
The judgment.
The judgment. We want to be ready when we appear before the court. We want to be ready. Because if we're not ready, we're going to be like the man that's in the Apocalypse of Paul. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. But like Paul says, our conscience bears us witness. As a matter of fact, give me that. What is that? Corinthians? Come on, give me that. Come on. Before we go, because every man and every woman got to appear before the judge. That's why we have these councils down here. You rather deal with the council down here on earth than go to the holy council and get sentenced. Just look context. Yeah, because I don't have much. Come on, read verse 11.
The book of Romans, chapter 2 and verse 11.
We don't want to appear before the judge as an habitual. Read on.
For there is no respect of persons with God.
And I had to learn that. Because sometimes your mind will have you thinking the Most High ain't going to touch me. Right. This is Israel. As us being the chosen people of God, I used to think like that. Right. You will think that way, like the Most High ain't going to touch you. He'll touch. He's no respecter person. Before we go back to the Most High's court and we have to appear before the judge of all the earth, we cannot go back as an habitual. If you caught up in fornication, damn it, stop. If you caught up in lying, stop. Stop it. Stop. Read on.
Verse 12. For as many have sinned without the law,
read,
shall also perish without law.
Come on.
And as many have sinned in the law, shall be judged by the law.
Now, you know what that says? That's the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. That's all Israel. That's all of us. Read.
Verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are justified.
You just can't be no hero of the law.
Are just before God.
Read.
But the doer.
We got to do the law before the judge of the earth. Before we appear in his court, when we die, we don't know. Now, versus here in America and around, well, here in America, you know your court date. You're able to prepare. You're able to get everything right. You're able to save the money. You're able to get the law, all that. But in the Most High's court, we don't know when the court date going to be. We don't know when the court date going to be. We're going to appear before the judge. That's all Israel. He's no respected person. Read.
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
The doers of the law shall be justified. Read on.
Verse 14.
Come on.
For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law.
Because the law is on your mind and on your heart. Ain't nobody got to tell you it's wrong to despise your neighbor. You feel it right here. Read on. He's going to tell you, read.
These having not the law.
These having not the law, having not the oracles, having not the tables of stone, having not the letter, read.
Are a law unto themselves.
They are a law unto themselves. Why? Read.
Which show the work of the law, written in their heart.
The law written in their heart. They showing that the law is right there and it exists. Because it's right there. Each and every last one of us understand that. Read.
Their conscience.
Their what?
Their conscience.
Their what?
Their conscience.
Ain't nobody got to say nothing. Before we appear before the master. Before we appear before the master. And you can't stand with nobody else. I can't stand with my mama, can't stand with my daddy. Can't stand with my sister, can't stand with my brother. I got to stand before the Most High Yahweh alone. And give account of the things that I've done. Their what?
Their conscience.
Their conscience, your mind, your heart, your mind is doing what?
Also bearing witness.
Ain't got to say nothing. Nothing. Our hearts, our mind, show that the law is written on our hearts. It's bearing us witness. What has to be done? What needs to be said? Read.
In their thoughts, the meanwhile, accusing, or else excusing, one another.
One another. Keep reading.
Verse 16. In the day when God shall judge the
in the day when God shall judge in the holy court. You sisters that can't forgive, the holy court is your last stop. I ain't no respect the person with the Most High. Humble yourself. Humble yourself, sisters. Online, sisters online. The meek shall inherit the earth. Pride shall be found out. Pride shall be destroyed. Pride, because as the Bible says in Proverbs, from pride cometh contention. Only by pride. Ain't no other way. Brothers, this is for us. This is for Israel. Israel, like King said earlier, Israelites, all around the whole world, we are habitual offenders. We keep doing the same stuff. Now I'm about to cuss. We've been doing it since our forefathers. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Read on.
This is the book of Romans chapter
verse 16.
Verse 16.
That's the last one. Read on.
In the day when God shall judge the secrets of men.
The secrets of men. You can't hide nothing. You can't hide nothing in his eyes. You need to confess. Wherever you got a problem with. The Bible says confess your faults one to another. Some of us got too much pride. We too prideful to confess. You ain't going to confess it? Prepare for the court. Prepare for the holy court. On that? Go ahead.
Shall judge the secrets of men by Jesus the Christ.
By Jesus the Christ. Give me
according to my gospel.
According to my gospel. Give me 2 Ezra 16. I'm almost done with it. We can go home. Hebrews 9 and 27. Go back there. Hebrews 9 27. We got the people for the court, y'all. Every last one of us. All of us.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27.
Read.
And as it is appointed unto men.
As it is appointed. You know when you got that ticket, you got to pull it over for tax. And at the bottom, it says, and I was always looking for it, mandatory court appearance. And he X'd it. Mandatory. You got to be in this court. What we going to do? All our secrets, everything that we think is hidden from men. we're going to be judged on it. Read on.
As it is appointed unto men.
As it is mandatory unto all men and women, because you come from us. And you sit online too, no matter how you hate it. Your marriage to your husband is that of the church. Your husband is God. Your husband is God. You are his disciple. It's just like the heavenly court. You his helper. And the reason why some of our sisters hate that is because you've been conditioned by Babylon the Great. That's why I'm thankful for that song that Ark came out with. Shakar and his wife. Babylon is falling. Because soon them thoughts, how you thinking, sister, how you feeling, you ain't going to think that way no more. All that's going to flee. All that's falling. You better get it right now. Read on.
It's appointed unto men once to die.
It's appointed unto man once to die.
But after this, the judgment.
You got to go to court. And like we said, you don't know when your court day going to be. It go for young men and young women too. Come on, y'all. What's stopping us is pride. Pride. That's the beginning of contention. Pride. The word said, okay, I'm through. Okay, gone. Bye. Hey. Anything else is contention, which is pride. Go to the second Ezra. Let's get out of here.
Second Ezra 16 and what?
Start at 19.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, famine and plague.
Famine and plague.
Tribulation.
Tribulation.
And anguish.
And the Most High ain't playing. And he's not mocked. Read.
Are sent as scourges.
I sent for what?
As scourges.
As what?
As scourges.
For what?
For amendment.
Give me the meaning of scourges. That's all I want from them. Okay. Give me the meaning for scourges. This is how we can stop being habituals. This is how we can change. We're going to close right here. This is how we can stop being a habitual and whatever. The Most High don't want us to be this. This is why he said these scourges, these plagues, these troubles, these fires. Read. What's that? What
scourge. Definition.
Read.
First, a whip used.
Oh, a what?
A whip used.
A who?
A whip used as an instrument of punishment.
That's all I want. Drop that. Give me amendment. We're going to put it together. 1 + 1 is 2. A scourge is a whip or an instrument used to whip. I was definitely cuss. But
don't do it.
It's used to punish, like King brought out. If he chastises you, he's chastising you. He's dealing with you as a son or a daughter. But he's doing it for amendments. What amendment mean?
Amendment.
A
minor change.
What?
A minor change.
He's using the scourges for a what?
A minor.
He using the amendment. He using the scourges to change you. Read it. A minor change or what?
Or addition design.
Or addition design
to improve.
To improve what?
A text.
A text.
Piece of legislation.
Piece of legislation.
Etc.
Etc.
Second definition.
An
article added to the U.S. Constitution.
Now I want that. Go back to 2nd Ezra. Most High is looking for He's looking for change. He's looking for change. Read 19 again.
Verse 19.
Matter of fact, read 18.
But the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 18.
Read.
The beginning of sorrow.
Read.
And great mourning.
And great mournings.
The beginning of famine. And great death.
And great death.
The beginning of war.
Right.
And the powers shall stand in fear.
I won't forget the brother, I just want to mention him again, the brother who got caught up in adultery. And he's in the heavens. He's gone. He's been to court. Gone. But where? We ain't looking at that because of sin. Pride. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings and the beginning of famine and great death. Read.
The beginning of war.
Read.
And the powers shall stand in fear.
Read.
The beginning of evils.
The beginning of evils. Read.
What shall I do?
What shall I do?
When these evils shall come.
They already here. What we going to do? They here now. Read.
Verse 19.
Come on.
Behold, famine and plague.
Famine and plague.
Tribulation and anguish.
Tribulation and anguish.
Are sent as scourges.
Are sent as scourges or whips.
For amendment.
For correction. For change. Read.
Verse 20. But for all these
but some of us, like King brought out, we can get whooped and go through a whole lot of stuff. Read. But for all these, and sisters, and I'm sorry to be on sisters like that, but the sisters are the worst at it. Because y'all so emotional. Read.
But for all these things.
But for all these things, all what things? The famine, the plague, the tribulation, the anguish. For all these things, but for all these things, what?
They shall not turn from their wickedness.
Habitual. Will not. Read.
Nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Not even mindful that you getting your ass whooped. This is why, that's what King brought out. This is why it happens to us. The Most High wants us to change. He's no respecter person. From this table back, he wants change. He wants Israel to amend their ways. Give me Jeremiah 35:15. He wants to amend our ways before we hit court. The brother kissed a woman and caught monkeypox. Drop dead. If you're going to do something, do it right. Don't be out here looking at another man's wife.
You ready when you are, King?
Wisdom of Solomon.
Jeremiah. Wisdom.
Jeremiah 35 and 15. Let me look at it.
You sure, King?
You know what I mean? Tell you. Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 35, verse 15.
Come on.
I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them.
He sent the prophets rising up early, sending them, saying what?
Return ye now every man from his evil way.
Return ye every man from his evil way. Read.
And amend your doings.
Amend your doings. Read.
And go not after other gods.
And go not after other gods.
To serve them.
To serve them.
And ye shall dwell in the land.
And ye shall dwell in the land.
Which I have given to you.
Which I have given to you.
And to your fathers.
And to your father.
But ye have not inclined your ears.
But you have not listened.
Nor hearkened unto me.
Nor hearkened to me. Give me John 4:48. Because some of us ain't going to do unless we see a sign. And the sign is going to be that trouble. Some of us ain't going to amend our way to the Most High until the Most High give us that sign of trouble. It's going to be too late. Read that.
The book of St. John, chapter 4, verse 48.
Read.
Then said Christ unto him, except ye see signs.
Except some of us see a sign. Read.
And wonders.
And wonders.
Ye would not believe.
We ain't going to believe. We ain't going to believe it. Unless the Most High touch our substance. We ain't going to believe. Read it again.
The book of St. John, chapter 4, verse 48. Then said Jesus unto him, except ye see signs and wonders,
I got two more to this. Read on.
ye will not believe.
Ye will not believe. Unless we see signs, we ain't going. Wicked word. Oh, give me 1 Peter 4 and 12. And he ran up out of here too. I got two more. 1 Peter 4 and 12. This is where King was at earlier. He's no respecter person, y'all. We as Israelites, that's why we in captivity. We've been going through the same. Even Jeremiah had to say, is Israel a home-born slave? Because Israel kept going in captivity. They get out of captivity, in captivity, out of captivity. Keep going through the same stuff back and forth because we are habituals. We can change. The Most High going to make us change. Read on.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 12.
Read.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trials which is to try you.
Don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trials which are to try you. Read.
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
It ain't nothing strange happening. The Most High wants you to amend your ways. Are you going through some Israelites? 9 times 10 is some in your life the Most High wants you to change. Read.
Verse 13. But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings.
Now, on verse 13, that's as we are suffering for Christ's sake. But we can also suffer for our sins. Read. Matter of fact, leave 13 alone. Read 12 again.
Okay. The book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
What is that fire? Give me Jeremiah 20 and 9. And we're going to end at 1 Corinthians 3 and 15. 3 and 15. Read that real quick, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 9.
Read.
Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name.
Read this, Jeremiah.
But his word was in my heart.
But his word was in my heart.
As a burning fire.
As a what?
As a burning fire.
As a what?
As a burning fire.
His word was in my heart as a burning fire. You know, John says, I baptize you with water, but there's one coming after me that shall baptize you with what? Fire. Baptize you with their word. That's what's that's what's going to burn off the dross. That's what's going to amend our ways when he put that word on us. Read on.
As a burning fire, shut up in my bones.
Shut up in my bones. Read.
And I was weary with forbearing. And I could not stay.
And I could not stay. Give me the last one. Give me 1 Corinthians 3 and 15. We're going to end right here. 1 Corinthians 3 and 15.
1 Corinthians 3 and 15.
And thank everybody for being patient. 3:15.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 15.
Hold right there.
Verse 13.
11.
Verse 12. Okay. Verse 11. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter
10.
10. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse
10.
10. Okay. According to the grace of God,
and we're going to end here. Read
which
on.
is given unto me,
Read.
as a wise master builder.
Come on.
I have laid the foundation.
I have laid the foundation.
And another builded thereon.
Read.
But let every man take heed how he buildeth
Let
thereupon.
every man take heed how he builds. All of us in here are building, brothers and sisters. You're building. Read on.
Verse 11.
Come on.
For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid,
We know that. Read on.
which is Jesus Christ.
That's right. Read on.
Now, if any man build upon this foundation,
Come on.
gold, silver,
Read.
precious stone,
Read.
wood,
Uh-huh.
hay,
Uh-huh.
stubble,
Read.
every man's work shall be made manifest.
Every man's work shall be made manifest or be shown what it is. Read.
For the day shall declare
For
it,
the day or the judgment day shall declare it. Read.
because it shall be revealed by fire.
It shall be revealed by what?
By fire.
By fire. Read.
And the fire shall try every man's work.
And the fire is going to try every man's work and every woman's work. What's trying you right now is that fire. The fire. To whom is given, much is required, Israel. You have been given the title as God's chosen people. How the hell we think we ain't finna go through something? We've been given the title as God's chosen. How you think if we do wrong to the Most High or at the Most High that he ain't gonna send us into slavery? To whom is given much is required. He gonna try us by fire. Read.
And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
To see what kind of work you got. To see how you been building. Go ahead and finish it up.
Verse 14.
Come on.
If any man's work abide,
If any man work abide or last, read.
which he hath built thereupon,
Read.
he shall receive a reward.
He gonna receive a reward because he built on the solid foundation of Christ. But if we are those habituals, read.
If any man's work shall be burned,
Lose, read.
he shall suffer loss.
I've been there. The Most High will take everything from you. This is mercy. This is really mercy. This is mercy. You know the Bible said his mercy endureth forever? He ain't lying. His word should not come back to him void. What he says is going to happen. That's mercy. I thank him for that mercy. I don't know about you. I thank him for mercy in my life.
Hallelujah. That's right.
I don't give a damn what they think. Mercy. You know what mercy is? Undeserved favor.
Yes.
You don't deserve nothing but death.
Indeed.
I don't deserve nothing but death. That fire gonna try every last one of y'all. Us. That fire gonna try you. You lose something, it's okay. The Most High was trying you. He burnt that up trying to save you. He gonna say it. Read. If any man's work shall be burned, or any woman's work shall be burned, read.
He shall suffer loss.
You gonna suffer some loss. Oh yeah. So don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trials that are to try you as though some strange thing is happening to you. He wants some amendment. Read.
But he himself shall be saved.
Shall be saved.
Yes.
Because he's not interested. He don't take pleasure in the death of his saints. So he want correction. Read.
Yet so as by fire.
Yet so as by fire. Read.
Verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temples of God?
Now we went over this, I think, in Tabernacles. We did. And we found out all kind of ways that we can defile our temple. Hate, envy, malice. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The Spirit of God dwelleth in you. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God,
Read.
him shall God destroy.
Him shall God destroy. Read.
For the temple of God is holy.
Is holy.
Which temple ye are.
We are the temple of the Most High. Read 18.
Verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world,
Read.
let him become a fool.
Let him become a fool. Read.
That he may be wise.
That he may be wise. Read.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
Read.
For it is written,
Right.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
I don't want to be wise in the Most High. I want to be that fool. I ain't finna sit here and act like I gotta know nothing. Don't call me no bishop. I ain't worthy. I'm like Isaiah. You want to call me anything, call me Isaiah. I'm unclean in his eyes. But guess what? Father, I'll go for you. I'll do what you want me to do. I'm willing. Read.
Verse 20. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise.
Read.
And they are vain.
Read.
Therefore let no man glory in men.
Don't let no man glory in men. Read.
For all things are yours.
All things are yours. Let's end right there. Let's end right there. And I hope that lesson helped somebody here. I know it helped me. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to grow up. I want to say some things when we get off camera too. It's time for us to grow up. It's time to wise up. Man, the Most High love us. Thank you, YouTube World Wide Web for staying with us. And we say Shabbat Shalom, enjoy your Sabbath.